Today, we're going to be taking a look at, possibly, the God Hand Killers. Stay tuned. What's going on, guys? Dave here, and hey, I got something sent over to me to review for you guys. These were actually sent over to me by Valtcan on Amazon. They contacted me probably last week and asked me if I would do a review and video on these, and I said, yeah, sure, send them over. I have to say, when I ended up getting this, I was actually very pleasantly surprised, especially since I opened the package and there were two of them. So not only did they send one for me to review, but they also sent one for me to give away to you guys. So as usual, there will be a link down in the description for a Gleam IO contest. I'm going to run this for about 2 weeks, and then we'll do an announcement and giveaway on these. Now, first and foremost, I have to say, presentation is pretty damn good. This is a felt, I guess you'd call it a case. Nice felt on the front and back. You've got gray on this side and brown on this side. It has a iPliers cutout logo in there. You have a nice sturdy button that's on here. Opening it up, you pull out the nippers themselves. We're just going to set that over there, and there's a cover on top of here to protect them as well. Like I said, presentation is damn good on these, and these aren't just the ones that were sent to me to review, making them all nice and everything. This is just how they end up shipping. With my God Hands, I just got a piece of plastic that slid over the end, and yes, before we get into it, the tips are broken. Probably had this about a week, and I broke off the very tip, and then I just took and ground off the other side to match up. And these have actually been doing fairly well. Now, these originally were, I want to say 65, something like that. Depending on where you end up getting them, especially here in the States, they can be just outrageously priced. Taking a look at them up close, you can see the Valtcan symbol on there. It has a little bird's head. You have a stopper on here. Now, one thing I will say is when I got it out of the package, I did have to adjust this stopping screw. That way you don't end up, crimping it too hard. It was set back a little bit, but that's very easy. You just loosen up this screw, tighten down the one that's in there, and then tighten this one back down. They do recommend, though, when you get these to kind of, work them a little bit, because they've been closed between the time that they were manufactured and shipping. Sometimes that spring that's in there can get a little crimped down, so you just want to make sure and have that nice and springy. But other than that, they seem to be fairly well. Now, there is a little bit of an edge on this one side, but it's like the God Hands, they are pretty much flat. So this is the stopper side, this is the cutting side. Get you guys a nice up close look at it as much as I can with the lighting. But yeah, it seems to be fairly well. And what's funny is the dimensions and everything are pretty much exact with the God Hands. Holding them side by side here, you can see they both have the stopping pin on the one side. The one difference is this has the stop screw on this side, and the Valtcans have them on the other. Taking a look at this side, pretty much the same. The springs look the same. The other side, yeah, pretty much the same angle. This side actually looks, even if this still had the tip on there, it looks to be a little bit longer on this one over here. But enough with appearances. You guys want to know, well, do these work? So just taking a sprue that I have from an extra kit on here, and we're just going to take a look. Now, one thing I have noticed is on the God Hands, they seem to be like laser sharpened, where these seem to be ground sharpened. I could be mistaken, but just looking at the appearance, that the fact that this one is almost a mirror, like it's been laser cut, and this one's just been ground cut. I'm not sure how that's going to end up performing, but let's just take a cut here, and as I do with all my parts, I just leave a little bit of a nub on there. So we're going to cut that off. Let's take one of these over here. Let's just nip this off right at the part and see how it does. Now, with any of these nippers, I always suggest just cut slow. Don't power through, and you're going to get a lot cleaner cut. Now, they do advertise with these that you're not going to get that tearing action. Now, let's see how these do on thicker parts. So we're just going to cut through that, cut through that. Here are the parts cut with the Valtcan, and using the God Hand, we're just going to cut the same parts. So we're just going to nip here, here, here. On these pieces over here, we're just going to, just like the other one, cut right along the part. And over here, now I get kind of skittish cutting anything really thick with these. I feel confident with these, but these I'm always kind of skittish because I know that they can break fairly easy. All right, using the God hand nippers on these, I'm just going to cut along the part. Using the Valtcan nippers, I'm going to do the same thing on this part. All right, taking a look at the pieces, they seem to cut fairly similar. All right, so after taking a look here, so this one we just cut right off of the sprue directly, and I'm noticing a little more discoloration as far as pinching on the side that did the God hands. This side, it's smooth. There is just a little bit of a nub there, so you know, just have to clean that up. Taking a look at the cut for the Valtcans over here, it is nice and flat. I'm not noticing any curvature that's in there. It is nice and smooth. You are just getting just a little pinching, but that I could have just been squeezing it a little bit hard. Taking a look at the one that we did with the God hands, I'm noticing a little more discoloration in the part from the squeezing on there. The part on it is flat, pretty much flat as well, just a little bit of a curvature with the compression on there. For those wanting to know, is this going to work on your minis? Well, let's see. Let's take, and for minis, I actually like trimming right up next to the piece whenever I can. Now the plastic that's used for like GW kits is a lot softer, so using the fingernail, it seemed to have trimmed that pretty much even with that piece. Laying this up and sliding across using a fingernail, it seemed to have done that perfectly smooth. Minimal cleanup with scraping on there afterward. All right guys, so would this end up being a God hand killer? I don't think it's a God hand killer. I think it's pretty much the same pair of nippers, just a little more affordable price. You can get these on Amazon. I am going to say keep an eye on there. When I first ended up seeing these were $30 and now they're $35 prime ship. That's still pretty damn good prime shipped, but keep an eye on, as with most things on Amazon, the prices fluctuate here and there. Link will be down in the description to be able to check it out. Clicking on that helps out the channel immensely. And just watching this video, well, it just makes me feel warm and fuzzy inside. And remember, as I mentioned in the beginning of this video, there will also be a link down in the description to a Gleam.io contest. Going to run for 2 weeks. We're going to be giving away the other pair that they ended up sending me. And yeah, I hope you guys all enjoy. Thanks for hanging out. I will see you guys all in the next video. As usual, YouTube, peace out.